What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a top 10 for Madness, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, Richard. Thank you, Richard, and everything you bring, and all the patrons. Want to thank them for everything they bring. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. Okay, I live in the States, so Madness is one of those groups that I talk about sometimes that I know had some big hits, and we'll get to their history in just a minute, in the UK, but really only had one hit, two, if you want to say that hit the top 40, but one really big hit in the US, and I know that song very well. And yes, I'll spoil it. That song will be on this list, and I'll get to it in a little bit. But let's get into a little history of Madness and jump right in to this top 10. Richard says this London ska band are undoubtedly one of the most fun bands of the 80s. I'm actually going to see them live in August, so I bet that's going to be a good time. I found they're an English ska band from Camden Town, North London, who formed in 1976. One of the most prominent bands of the late 70s and early 80s two-tone ska revival. They continue to perform with 6 of the 7 members of their original lineup, which is insane. Let's talk about that, right? 1976, and they still got 6 of the 7 members out here performing in 2022 when I'm filming this. That's crazy, man. Madness' most successful period is from 80 to 86, where their band songs spent a total of 214 weeks on the UK singles charts. UB40 shared the same number of weeks, the largest for any British group in the decade. But UB40 did it over a longer period. So as far as chart success, if you want to do weeks on the chart, Madness was the most successful. They've had 15 singles reach the UK top 10. Our House was their biggest US hit. I guess it's already given away, huh? Reaching 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. In 2000, they received the Novello Award. And I'm just going to give you the guys. We'll get to them. But we got Chris Foreman on guitar, Mike Barson on keyboard and piano, Lee Thompson on sax, percussion, and vocals, Graham Suggs McPherson, he'll be called Suggs on here, on vocals, Dan Woodgate on drums and percussion, Mark Bedford on bass, and the former member is Chaz Smash, who is on bass, vocals, trumpet. And that's what I got. We're going to get this thing started. Just a reminder, the music will not be in the video, but it will be at a Vimeo link below if you want to watch along the whole thing with me. If you already know the songs, stick around here. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Richard. You see it below. We got number 10, Nightboat to Cairo from the One Step Beyond album in 1979. It's written by Mike Barson and Suggs and was also included on the Work, Rest, and Play EP. Number 6 in the UK, reached the top 30 in Belgium, Ireland, and the Netherlands. It's later reissued in the UK in 1993, following the success of the reissued version of It Must Be Love, but failed to reach the top 40, peaking at 56. It's most often used by Madness to close their concerts. And Nightboat has passed into Cockney rhyming slang as a term for an unemployment benefit check. That's when you know you've really made an iconic song. The song was composed as an instrumental by Barson, but was expanded when Suggs added lyrics. Suggs has described it as, quote, miles of introduction, a couple of verses, then miles of instrumental, no chorus, and the title isn't even mentioned apart from me shouting it at the beginning. It's an atmosphere with great music and words. Of course, it is a song, but not a traditional one. All right, let's check it out. Nightboat to Cairo, obviously very successful. An interesting song in the way that it's put together. You know, I'm sure repeated listens, obviously, with this chart success, adds to how much you enjoy it. I mean, I did not enjoy it. It's got a lot of stuff going on. The lyrics really don't mean anything, so I'm not really going to get into them. Suggs said to Forbes, we often did songs that didn't have any choruses, and he talks about this one and a couple others. He said, and Nightboat to Cairo, I just came up with this stupid verse, last boat along the River Nile, and all that. I remember our producer telling us, quote, let's get some Egyptian strings on at the end. Unfortunately, the arranger heard him say gypsy strings, so we ended up with this complete mismatch of cultures. Anyway, it sounded all right, so we just left the gypsy strings, and there you are. I'm sure this song is absolutely fantastic in person. Now we're up to Wings of a Dove. It was off the album Utter Madness in 1986. It's a compilation. That's where you'll find the album version, but the song itself was released in 1983 as a standalone single, and then later in 84 it was included on the American version of their album Keep Moving. The single spent 10 weeks in the British charts, peaking at number 2, peaked at number 1 in Ireland. Written by Suggs and Chaz, and they also share lead vocals here. It featured steel drums by Creighton Steel Sounds and the Gospel Choir, the International Choir of the Pentecostal Firstborn Church of the Living God. Boy, if you're going to write out your church name there, it'd take you a while every time. The song enjoyed a brief resurgence in popularity in 1999 when it was featured in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. It was a silver seller in the UK, which means 250,000 singles sold. All right. Wings of a Dove, in parentheses, a celebratory song. And you can see that because, on the Wings of a Dove, just sticks in your head, right? Whoa, whoa, on the wings of a dove. So I can see how it's catchy. It really fit well in a movie. I mean, I saw 10 Things I Hate About You. I don't remember any of it because it was 1999, and I'm old, but it starts out, take time for your pleasure and laugh with love. Take the hand of another and sing for the wings of a dove. And then we get in that chorus. Look up at the rooftops when you're walking around. Don't think for a moment of looking down. So room at the top where we're not allowed. Cheer to the echo. Can you hear the sound? So just being with that person that you care about, right? And it kind of has that carefree arrangement to it, and kind of that chorus in there, that whoa, whoa, just really, really puts a smile on your face, man. So I thought that was a fun one. We go to number 8, House of Fun. It was released as a single in 1982. Went to number 1 in the UK, re-released in 92, reaching number 40. It is the band's only number 1 single in the UK, and in 2015, the British public voted as the nation's 8th favorite 1980s number 1 in a poll for ITV. The song was originally recorded under the title Chemist Facade, without the Welcome to the House of Fun chorus. While the song was being recorded, head of Stiff Records Dave Robinson insisted the song should have a chorus, so band member Mike Barson immediately wrote the Welcome to the House of Fun refrain on his piano. So we got lead vocals. Not all these songs have who's doing what, right? This one we do have lead vocals by Suggs on this one. All right, House of Fun. So interesting that they didn't have that chorus in there, and then just what they came up with arrangement-wise, right? It sounds like Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite from the Beatles, right? You got that carnival atmosphere just on that hook. Otherwise, we've got great saxophone on there from Lee Thompson, the trumpet, of course, with Chaz Smash. But just a really, really good song. It's really a coming-of-age song, right? This guy turned 16, and he's telling all the things he wants to do. He's going to get some drink. He's going to do some different things. Maybe go to the ladies. Temptation's on its way. Welcome to the House of Fun. Now I've come to age. Welcome to the House of Fun. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Temptation's on his way. And then he goes into this place and he says, the God says, I'm sorry, son, but we don't stock party gimmicks in the shop. Try the House of Fun. It's quicker if you run. This is a chemist, not a joke shop. So that's, I guess that's where the Chemist Facade comes in. But really good, fun song. Now we get to number 7, Baggy Trousers, written by lead singer Suggs McPherson and guitarist Chris Foreman, and reminisces about school days. Number 3 in the UK. I mean, all these songs just went so high. Suggs later recalled in an interview that, quote, I was very specifically trying to write a song in the style of Ian Dury, especially the songs he was writing then, which were often sort of catalogs of phrases in a constant stream. He contrasted Baggy Trousers with Pink Floyd's hit Another Brick in the Wall. I was writing about my time at school. Pink Floyd had that big hit with Teacher, Leave Those Kids Alone. It didn't really relate to me because I hadn't been to a public school where I was bossed about and told to sing Rule Britannia and all that. Having instead attended a comprehensive school with much less strictly enforced discipline, this one actually was a gold single, over 500,000 copies in the UK. Baggy Trousers, just writing about a school that, obviously Chris said he didn't attend anything like this, but just kind of running down what the school would have been like. Naughty boys in nasty schools, headmasters breaking all the rules, having fun and playing fools, smashing up the woodwork tools, all the teachers in the pub, passing around the ready rub, trying not to think of when the lunchtime bell will ring again. It's a very quickly paced song. So we're only got about 2 minutes and 32 seconds of lyrics, but he gets through these quick, rapid fire. The instrumentation keeps up with it, so I really did enjoy that about it, because you got to get after it, man. You got to get after it in a song like this to get all these lyrics in, and so it worked. And of course, oh, what fun we had, but did it really turn out bad? All I learned at school was how to bend, not break the rules. Oh, what fun we had. But at the time, it seemed so bad, trying different ways to make a difference to the days. And only towards the end does it get into the chorus. Baggy trousers, dirty shirt, pulling hair and eating dirt. Teacher comes to break it up. Back of the head with a plastic cup. Could have been worse. Baggy trousers, baggy trousers. So that was definitely a fun one. Now we're up to One Better Day off the Keep Moving album in 1984, written by Graham McPherson and Mark Bedford. Went to 18 in the UK. Last single for them on the Stiff Records label before they created their own label, Czar Jazz Records. One Better Day, my favorite song so far. Much more mature musically. Not that there's anything wrong with the other stuff, right? They're trying to have fun, or they are having fun. But this one's different. This one's about two homeless people. And just kind of how it plays out, Arlington house address, no fixed abode. An old man in a three-piece suit sits in the road. He stares across the water. He sees right through the lock, but on and up like outstretched hands, his mumbled words, his fumbled words mock. Further down a photo booth, 1,000,000 plastic bags. Then we get another character, right? An old woman filling out 1,000,000 baggage tags, but when she gets thrown out 3 bags at a time, she spies the old chap in the road to share her bags with. she has bags of time and surrounded by his past. So it's talking about them sitting there, and she walks down, obviously, and sits next to him. Walking around, you sometimes hear the sunshine beating down in time with the rhythm of your shoes. So they're kind of sitting there watching everything unfold. I thought the horn section was fantastic. I thought all of it was. I thought the arrangement, I thought the lyricism, I thought the vocal performance. Just a really good song to finish off the front half of this list. Now we go to the song that I know. The little 10-year-old me was watching MTV on repeat. Back in 1982, Our House from the Rise and Fall album. Lead single, charted within the top 10 in several countries. This says 5 in the UK and was the band's biggest hit on the Billboard Hot 100. I already mentioned it was 7. Won the category Best Pop Song at the May 1983 Novell Awards. Also went gold, the single in the UK, over 500,000 copies. So I love this song. I can see the video right now in my head because I probably saw it 500 times. All right, let's do it. Our House. So, I mean, just a perfectly constructed song. The instrumentation is fantastic. It's 3 minutes, 21 seconds, but it goes quick. And it's the story of growing up in this house, right? And I wonder whose house it was. And now I know it was written by Chaz and guitarist Chris Foreman. In the liner notes of a 1986 comp album, Chaz says, "Our house grew from the idea that each band member would write about his family. No one else bothered. I did." So it's really just about Chaz's family. And it also marked the group's first time working with string arranger David Bedford. Suggs later told the Daily Mirror, "It was clear to him what our records needed, and he did great things for us. It's strange now to think we were so philosophical about such everyday things, but you got to really think about it, your texture of sound, right? Because it's going to draw people in. And like I said, this song is just so perfect. And I don't think they really thought it was going to be some huge thing because it was song number 7 on this album, so they didn't put it to the forefront or anything like that. But like I said, this one has nostalgic things for me, so those always skew your view of songs, right? It's hard to put that aside. So this is obviously probably going to end up in my faves at the end. Now we're going to go to My Girl at number 4. Not That My Girl, from the One Step Beyond album in 1979. Written by Mike Barson, went to number 3 in the UK, reissued in 92 following the success of the reissued It Must Be Love, reached 27 on the UK singles charts in 1992. The song first made its way into the band's set when they were performing as The Invaders. Their first performance of the song came in July of 1978 when it was performed by the band at the Blind Alley Shop and simply titled New Song. Barson originally performed lead vocals and even sang on the demo for the song, having written the song about his then girlfriend, Kirsten Rogers. However, Suggs took over the vocal duties before long and sang the album version of the song. Barson did write a follow-up, My Girl 2, which was recorded by Madness and was released as a single in 2012. Though it contains the phrase My Girl 2 is otherwise musically and lyrically quite distinct from this version. It went silver in the UK, selling 250,000 copies of this single. My Girl, just a really good song, right? I thought the arrangement was good. I thought the lyrics are great because most of us in our lifetime have lived this kind of thing, right? My girl's mad at me. I didn't want to see the film tonight. I found it hard to say. She thought I'd had enough of her. Why can't she see? She's lovely to me, but I like to stay in and watch TV on my own every now and then, right? In that relationship, like that girl wants to be with him all the time, and if he doesn't want to do something with her, all of a sudden she looks at that as rejection. Or he's just kind of like, I just want to stay in and chill by myself. It's nothing against you. I want to be with you. But boy, once he scorned her, that was it. Because he's like, my girl's mad at me. He's been on telephone for an hour. They hardly said a word. I tried, but I could not be heard because she already had her mind made up. Because everything I say, she doesn't understand. She doesn't realize. She takes it all the wrong way. And then at the end, the last verse, my girl's mad at me. We argued just the other night. I thought we got it straight. We talked until it was like she ain't going to get over this, man. So it's probably time to get away from that relationship. But I've been in a few of those in my life way back in the day. It's a really good song. Now we're up to number 3, the title track from their album One Step Beyond in 1979. Written by Jamaican ska singer Prince Buster. Although Buster's version was mostly instrumental except for the song title shouted for a few times, Madness' version features a spoken intro by Chaz and a barely audible but insistent background chant of Here We Go. According to Alan Winstanley, one of the producers, the released Madness version was a rough mix created by taking the original 1 minute 10-second instrumental and repeating it with the second half treated with an Eventide harmonicizer to make it sound slightly different. In France, it went gold, which is 500,000 copies, and went to number 1. UK, silver, 250,000 singles sold. One Step Beyond, obviously it leads off this album, their debut proper album outside of EP. So it was almost like he was almost announcing himself. Chaz was. He was almost announcing them like he was an MC, like he's a hip-hop MC, and just telling him all this stuff at the very end. He's like, to the rockin'est, rock-steady beat of Madness, One Step Beyond, and then they get into just the ska sound, right? They're letting you know what you're in for here. So just kind of announcing themselves, a good way to start an album. And Richard's number 3 pick. Now we're up to number 2. We got Michael Caine from the Keep Moving album in 1984. The lead single went to 11 in the UK, written by Carl Smythe and Daniel Woodgate, and features Smythe on lead vocals in place of Usual Madness vocalist Suggs. Song's about an informer during the Troubles, and the lyrics suggest a state of paranoia and mental disintegration. It's named after the great English actor Michael Caine, right? Michael's been in so many good things. It includes his vocal samples recorded specifically for this song. The song's hook, a repetition of Caine introducing himself by name, recalls his role in the 1960s spy film The Ipcress File, in which his character Harry Palmer repeats his name while trying to stay sane under torture. I've never seen that. When he was approached to appear on the record, Caine initially turned it down, but his daughter, on hearing his decision, made him change his mind, telling him how popular Madness was. All right, let's do it. Michael Caine. The more that song went on, the more I liked it. It's not that I didn't like it up front, but the more it went on, the more I liked it. You know, Michael Caine's hardly in it, but it's just cool when he comes in. You know, first he's, I am Michael Caine, and then my name is Michael Caine. I see another thing that people speculate. The subject matter of the song is generally held to be an IRA informant forced to live under an assumed name. He eventually cracks under the pressure. His only connection with the past is the photograph to keep. And so I do think it has a very serious subject matter, but the arrangement kind of has more of a, not an upbeat, but it doesn't have that darkness to it. And I think it's a nice contrast, but I really did enjoy it. You know, it's a more refined song, again, not nearly as much ska in there. Not that there's anything wrong with the ska, but I really did enjoy this. It's properly ranked, I think. Drum roll, please. Well, no, you already see it below. It Must Be Love from the Seven album in 1981. Written and originally recorded and released in 1971 by English singer Labi Siffre on his 1972 album Crying, Laughing, Loving, Lying. Madness's version was originally released as a standalone single in late 1981, reaching 4 on the UK singles chart. This did chart in the US in 83, just at number 33. So maybe I'll know it because that's when I was really getting into music, but I don't know. It's reissued in 92 and this time reached number 6 on the UK charts. Went platinum in the UK, the only single on here that has 600,000 copies sold. All right, Richard's number 1 Madness song. It Must Be Love. You know, I know this song. I said it during the I know the song. I don't know if it's their version I know or I just know the song. It's a great song. They did a fantastic job with their arrangement on this. Suggs sounds fantastic. I just really enjoyed the song. It puts a smile on your face. There's not a lot to the lyrics, and you know they didn't write the lyrics, but I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do, and I never thought I'd feel this way, the way I feel about you. As soon as I wake up every night, every day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away, and then that must be love. Love, love, down. I mean, just a really, really well done song. And on that, it's going to take me to my favorite tracks. I mean, these guys, let's talk about, you know, instrumentally, these guys are just fantastic. I didn't even talk about Dan Woodgate on the drums. Just want to throw a shout out there. And Bedford on the bass. And I know Chaz was on the bass at times and trumpet. And Wee Thompson on the sax and percussion did an excellent job. You know, Barson on the keyboards and piano. This last song especially was really good. Foreman's on that guitar. So I just wanted to throw out those shout outs. I talked about Suggs a lot, but wanted to throw the shout out for all of those other things. So this is one of those lists where, you know, I don't always agree with the order of them just on first listen, but it's one of those lists where Richard got it pretty much exactly right. For me, I got 5 of the 10 that I'm just going to call faves, not even honorable mentions as fave. And it's 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. So One Better Day, Our House, of course, sentimental value. My Girl, Michael Caine, and this last song, It Must Be Love. So really did enjoy that. I can see why Madness had success. Ska music for me can be hit or miss, but these guys had enough variety in there and enough differentiation that I really, really did enjoy it. So let me know your favorite Madness tunes in the comments below. Thanks again, Richard, and until next time, guys, I will see you.